sure.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the new season of Blood Bowl, promising to be legendary.
Indeed, Bob. This new season certainly will be exceptional. Numerous new teams of all races are gathering right now from all across the old world to participate in this prestigious competition. I've heard that some of the new teams have offered the use of their newly refurbished stadiums. See, even the undead have cleaned up their favorite crypt for this season.
All these new stadiums certainly won't go amiss if we have to welcome all these new teams. They're coming from all around the old world, from the cold Norse lands to the most arid deserts. Even the dead are on their way.
Let's not forget to bring some flowers for the ladies. The Amazon teams have signed up for the competition.
Appearances can be deceiving, Jim. These ladies are real furies, believe me.
Even the proponents of fair play will be well treated. Mercenaries, high elves, and elves will be competing.
So many new faces, this is for certain. The show will be exceptional.
That's right, Bob.
Then bring 'em on! Alive or dead, men or women, giants or halflings, all are welcome, as it is now time for the Blood Bowl!
Okay, take two. So this is Blood Bowl. Back in the, I think, mid-'80s, in a particularly silly mood. I'm just gonna hit confirm. Hope. No. Well, this is a problem. I will continue my spiel though. So yeah, back in the mid-'80s, Games Workshop was in a silly mood, and they decided, you know what? Let's take our big fantasy, wacky tabletop war game here, and just have them all play football. Like they discovered the rules in some ancient thing, and got creative with them. So the original first version of the game was just like, you know, Team Orcs, Team Humans, sort of sportsy rules applied to just like running around hitting each other and throwing a ball. Then they did some really interesting expansions on that first version. One just like, here's like 20 other races, and one that's just like, here is a more long-term campaign sort of rule book with like extra just pilot all on their rules for like, I don't know, you have like a team wizard who can cast spells now and then, and you have cheerleaders, and you have budgeting, and you have you know, dwarves buying like steamrollers to bring in, and like goblins on pogo sticks, and it was one of those things where it was less concerned with balance, more concerned with being silly, and there are a lot of like weird edge case rules. Like if you have werewolves fighting undead and they knock one down, they will like grab one of their bones to go bury and then just like leave the arena, but also it takes that skeleton up permanently. And you know, like then if they're fighting tree people, they'll like stop and mark their territory on them. It happens to get snacks, and like you have to check how bright the sun is and if they can see enough to throw the ball. So you know, fun times there. Let me see if I can do anything that games play. I think I can, because it's asking me for CDT and saying that I've played it for a couple hours before, and I do recall having messed with it at some point. But yeah, they've since like redone the entire rules for the tabletop game several times, to the point where it's like mechanically completely unrelated today from how it was back when I was like really into it. A little less silly, a little more using special dice, if I recall. Don't put me on that. Meow. And this is wanting the CD key. Do. Buy a CD key. I'm missing it. Nobody look at that. Okay, we should be good to go now. I have to like cut that out of the archive version. Anyway, here we go. So yeah, I think they changed the rules a couple times over the years, and this might be in a middle state between what I've played and what I've really played. But here's what happened to it. Sure, I'll do a tutorial. Why not? I don't know what versions of rules we're actually using here. Yeah, some friends I went back when we used to play this all the time, and like, on top of all the existing silly rules, had like a couple of folder worth of house rules or other just wacky ideas to add to the game. Good silly times. And it's always nice to have the like Warhammer stuff not in super serious mode. Just let it be real silly. Oh, is that what I'm at right? Hang on. This is still loading. So. Yeah, the original, like, I really liked the mechanics of it, honestly, under the hood, which later editions would just drop completely. And kind of have one of my various back burner projects, like, heavily inspired by how it used to work. Also, the actual, like, physical rulebook is full of all kinds of stuff, like, playbooks for like orc teams that are just like 1, 2 and another 1, 2 on both hands. Just lots of silliness. Okay, tutorial. We're having some issues already. There we go. What is there? Sewer ducts. I will have to look that up. Okay.
Good evening, sports fans, and welcome to the Blood Bowl for tonight's contest. You join a capacity crowd packed with members of every race from across the known world, all howling like banshees in anticipation of tonight's game. Oh, and yes, there are some actual banshees. Well, kickoff is in about 20 minutes' time, so we've just got time to recap the rules of the game before the battle starts. Your match commentators for tonight are Jim and myself, Bob Bifford. Evening, Jim.
Thank you, Bob. Well, good evening, and boy, are you folks in for a great night of top-class sporting entertainment. But first of all, for those at home who are unfamiliar with the rules, here's how the game is transmitted to the folks at home and, of course, played.
This is the other thing, too, is back in the day they would have, you know, minis for everything because they are Games Workshop. And this included orc cheerleaders who you know, were cheerleader shaped. This may be like some, like, horrible canon issue in the lore now. Since they decided on the whole, like, reproducing with spores thing.
Let me explain that, Jim. As any Blood Bowl fan knows, each Blood Bowl match is transmitted out to thousands of Blood Bowl fans with the device Campaign for Real Arcanery, the camera that was developed by the Guilds of Magic. A bound spirit in a box is allowed to look out in one direction only at the Blood Bowl field, and his mental image is then transmitted by teams of magicians using the spell Cablevision.
This too is part of the official lore. Yes, every tutorial.
And nowadays, we got a lot of cameras, Bob. Since transmitting Blood Bowl matches became a huge success, a lot more broadcasting guilds emerged on the market, such as NBC,
Necromancer's Broadcasting Circle,
Channel 7, the CBS,
Crystal Ball Service,
to name a few. But since ABC...
Association of Broadcasting Conjurers.
Yes, thank you, Bob. Since the ABC won the franchise in 2486, when it was renewed for the 30th time, they have exclusive broadcasting rights nowadays.
Ah, that's too true, Jim. But let's explain for the folks at home what Blood Bowl the game really is. Blood Bowl is an epic conflict between two teams of heavily armored and quite insane warriors. Players pass, throw, or run with the ball, attempting to get it to the other end of the pitch, the end zone. Of course, the other team must try to stop them and recover the ball for their side. If a team gets the ball over the line into the opponent's end zone, it's called a touchdown. The team that scores the most touchdowns by the end of the match wins the game and are declared Blood Bowl champions. How do they do it?
Proper original Blood Bowl is only played on Astro Granite and accordingly comes with this like very 3D, very surprisingly thick like styrofoam board with a giant skull just kind of embossed into it.
It's like this, Bob. Two teams set up 11 players on the pitch. 11 is the sacred number of Nuffle, as any hardcore Blood Bowl fan would know. Today we're going to watch the Gouged Eye against the Reichland Reavers. This is yet another grudge match between the two teams.
And it seems the teams are entering the pitch now. Shall we get started, Jim? The coin is flipped high in the air, and the brave goblin referee announced that the Reichland Reavers will be receiving this half.
Right, let's get started. As any coach will tell you, Bob, a team's starting formation is vitally important. Here we can see an example of the Gouged Eye famous 5-4-2, or Deep Defense Formation. This formation is used by the Eye against fast-moving or agile teams like Skaven or Elves. Some would argue with limited success.
You said it, Jim. Notice how the Gouged Eye has made sure that there are no gaps in their line for opposing players to run through. Every square is covered by an orc player or one of his tackle zones.
You say so, I want a better grid. Oh, there we go. That's better.
That's absolutely right, Bob. Each square around a player is a tackle zone. And it looks like, as an added insurance, the Orcs have kept two players back deep, close to their own end zone, so they can catch any enemy players lucky enough to dodge their way through the Orc front line.
Jim, let's not forget that a team can only field 2 players in each wide zone, and they always have to field a minimum of 3 players on the halfway line, which coaches refer to as the line of scrimmage.
Okay, Bob, it seems like Reichland Reavers have set up their offensive lineup and that the Gouged Eye are ready to kick the ball.
It sure does, Jim. When both teams have finished their setup, the coach of the kicking team places the ball in any square in the opponent's half of the pitch.
That's right, Bob. He can even place it in their end zone if he likes. After placing the ball, it will scatter in random direction, though, only up to a maximum of 7 squares in any of the 8 possible directions.
We're also just like going over the rules of the tabletop game as it was created.
Those kicks are sure inaccurate, Jim. That's why coaches sometimes prefer to field a player with the kick skill, since it will cut the number of possible squares the ball will scatter by half. But more on those skills later.
That's right, Bob. The kick skill sure is useful, because if the ball bounces off the pitch or into the kicking team's half, the receiving team is awarded a touchback and can give the ball to any player in their team. There goes the little referee with his bone whistle. It's time to rumble!
I do appreciate a good in-character tutorial, though. Okay, so first of all, like, camera goes on side. I'll right click.
Look at that kick, Jim. What a perfect kick by Truck Elf Splitter. But what's up with the fans, Jim?
Oh, yeah, this is another thing in the expanded rules, the original version, that was really a lot. Just fans reacting to things, and like possibly just like, you know, storming onto the field and just trying to kill everyone and stuff like that. Or just getting rerolls.
As you know, Bob, all kinds of things can happen during a Blood Bowl match. A team may make an inspired play, or raucous fans might throw a rock at one of the opposing team's players, or even invade the pitch. Coaches refer to them as kick-off events. There are lots of different outcomes. In this case, the cheering fans seem to have gone wild with anticipation.
Right, Jim. Keep an eye on those fans. It seems Reichland Reavers got inspired by their fans cheering and got an extra reroll in this half. No doubt their cheerleaders got the crowd going. Equally important is their assistant coaches and fame, fan factor, during the kickoff events.
So I think, too, there have been like a couple of versions of the PC version of this.
And that extra team reroll sure is handy for the Reavers, Bob. It allows them to reroll one dice roll per turn during a half. Rerolls are very important in Blood Bowl, as coaches quickly discover. There are two types of rerolls, team rerolls and player rerolls. In either case, a reroll allows you to reroll all the dice that produced any one result.
It sure is useful, Jim. So let's continue with the match, shall we?
Also, we're like being very, very in character, also being very, very granular about the mechanics.
Getting ready to pick up the ball, and
the
ball
weird.
is just within his reach since he got movement allowance 6.
Oh, take a look at that, Bob. He almost failed to pick up the ball. Luckily enough for the Reavers, Fat Mitbrot has the sure hand skill, which allowed him to re-roll the pickup roll, and he made it on the second attempt.
True, Jim. Sure hands does come in handy at times. Maybe we should mention that the agility table is used for more than just pickups, Jim. It is also used to work out the success or failure of a number of different actions in Blood Bowl, including dodging, picking up the ball, and throwing or catching the ball, to name but a few. Each action has its own set of modifiers, too, depending on how difficult the action is. It's these modifiers to the dice roll that affect whether or not the action is a success.
That's right, Bob. This all might sound complicated, but it's really easy to understand it all after a few games. For those that wish to broaden their wisdom about Blood Bowl, I recommend taking a look at the official Blood Bowl rulebook.
You said it, Jim. But look at that. He's not done. He's about to throw a short pass to Griff Oberwald.
That's a risky play so early in the turn, Bob. Usually, coaches try to perform the easier actions first during their turn, because if anyone fails an action, it's the end of their turn. In this case, it's fairly safe, since Fat Mitbrot also has the pass skill, which allows him to re-roll a failed result.
Still a risky play, Jim, since the thrower has agility of 3, which means that he must roll a 4 or more to be on target. No modifiers apply to the D6 roll because he is not in any tackle zones, and the modifier for short pass is +0.
I was not expecting this to be as just we are going to read the rule book to you as this is.
And he rolls a 4 and makes it. And Griff Oberwald reaches for the ball and rolls a 2. He catches the ball. What an amazing play so early in the game, Bob. For those that wish to view the agility table for passing the ball and catching the ball, we refer yet again to the Blood Bowl rulebook.
Screw you by the tabletop.
Sure is amazing, Jim. Regarding actions, such as passing, handoffs, and blitz moves, These actions can only be performed by one player per turn. However, it can be any player that attempts these actions. So don't worry about the names of the player positions. They just help illustrate that blitzers are just better at blitzing, throwers are just better at passing the ball, and catchers are just better at catching the ball. Now back to the action on the pitch. The Reavers are trying to punch a hole in the Gouged Eye's defense. Look at that, Jim. Zug, their ogre, prepares to smash the Gouged Eye's black orc on the scrimmage line. Rip Sorpain.
They better stay clear of that big guy, Bob. He has a strength value of 5, and in this case, he is blocking the black orc, Rip Sorpain, who only has a strength of 4. Since the ogre has more strength than his opponent, it means he can roll 2 block dice and choose which one to use. For you folks at home, you can check the player's strengths roll table for further information concerning what effects a player's strength have when blocking.
You can show what the other does, can't find.
And look at that, Jim. He rolls defender down, and the defender stumbles. He uses the defender down result to push Rip Sorpain back a square and knock him flat on his back in the mud. And whenever a player hits the ground, you make an armor roll to see if his armor protects him from injury.
Forget, not
Lucky
sure
for
you
that
need to throw
black
the
orc,
actual
he's got
tabletop
some
game.
heavy armor on him, Bob. Oh, wait. It looks like Zug managed to break the black orc's armor and has caused a knockout result on the injury roll. That's because Zug has the extremely powerful Mighty Blow skill, which adds +1 to your armor roll. The Reavers fans go wild. After all, it's called Blood Bowl.
And brutality on the pitch? We like that, Jim. Seems like the Reavers smashed up an opening, too. Look at Jean-Paul Musen. The Reavers catcher is running right through their defense. I smell a touchdown soon, Jim.
Not so fast, Bob. He still needs to make a dodge roll to bypass the Gouged Eye's solid defense.
That's right, Jim. And while he squeezes through the defense, he rolls a 3 and successfully dodges through, since he needs to roll a 3 or more. With an agility value of 3, he requires a roll of 4 or more to be successful. But since Jean-Paul Musen dodges to a square that has no tackle zones, he receives a +1 bonus dodge modifier when attempting the dodge roll. Remember, it's always the square that you are dodging to that determines the modifiers. That's some nice dodging, Jim.
Too right, but look, it looks like Griff Oberwald will dodge through and make a go for it to hand off the ball to Jean-Paul Musen. And just like every action in Blood Bowl, a go for it can be treacherous, Bob.
That's all true, Jim. While all players can go for it 2 additional squares of movement, they need to roll a d6 to see if they can make it. On a 1, they will fall flat on the ground in the square where they failed, and therefore must make an armor roll, and it will cause a team turnover.
Rarely worth it.
Some high-quality play there, Bob. Griff Oberwald dodges through and goes for it to the catcher, and Jean-Paul Musen successfully catches the handoff. Now, a handoff is always considered as an accurate pass, so the receiving player simply needs to pass an agility roll. Our catcher, with an agility of 3, therefore catches the ball on a roll of 3 or more.
It's real Grognard time.
That's all nice,
This is
Jim,
the true
but I
fantasy
want to see
football.
more action on the pitch. And here we go. It looks like the human blitzer, Matthias Meyer, is getting ready to blitz that orc, while Griff Oberwald is assisting him.
That's right, Bob. Once per turn, a player on the moving team is allowed to make a special blitz move. A blitz allows the player to move and make a block. The block may be made at any point during the move, but costs 1 square of movement for the player to make.
That's one tough blitzer, Jim. Since Griff Oberwald assisted him, he had +1 strength, giving him a strength value of 4. So he gets to roll 2 block dice and choose the result. Fortunately, he has rolled both down twice. But fortunately, Matthias Meyer has the block skill, which allows him to ignore the both down result. But since poor old Truck Elf Splitter does not have the block skill, he goes down. What a blitz he made, Jim.
Indeed, Bob. The player may carry on moving after the effects of the block have been worked out, if he has any squares of movement left. It seems like he is moving up next to the catcher to protect him.
Meow.
But look, Jim, what is Peter Von Gullet trying to do? It looks like he'll fall over and cause a turnover. Normally, turn only ends when all the players in the team have performed an action. However, certain events cause the turn to end before all the players have taken an action.
Turnover! Not even the team reroll helped them there, Bob. This doesn't look good for the Reavers, since Jean-Paul Moussin is wide open for a blitz. The Orcs don't waste any time, and there goes Krug Painspear, the gouged eye star, Orc Blitzer. He just blitzed up the pitch, and now he's going to throw a block at Jean-Paul Moussin, the Reavers catcher. Krug Painspear got a strength of 3 compared to Jean-Paul's 2, which means Krug Painspear can roll 2 block dice and choose which one he will use.
Did you see that, Jim? Since Krug Painspear has the tackle skill, Jean-Paul Moussin is knocked down with a defender stumbles, even though he has the dodge skill, which would normally allow him to regard that as a simple pushback.
We are covering their bases with this. Holy
looks
cow.
like a spleen gone awry. Brutal and bloody just the way we like it. And the gouged eye fans go wild. It looks like the Reavers
Now, that
will have
said,
to use
for
their
like actual
apothecary to
tabletop
stitch
games,
up
I
that
do
wound,
appreciate
and
rules that
there
are
they
just
come
written this
running
way.
onto the
Just
pitch, carrying out the lifeless body.
one big long example of play with with everything that can possibly happen going on. But also quick change my camera angle.
That's assuming the apothecary can mend him, Bob. The apothecary allows a reroll of any injury, and you could choose the new result. And now the Reavers don't have an apothecary for the rest of the game, so you can only use them once. It was worth it, though. He was for sure brought back from the dead. However, he is out for the rest of this drive. This will be hard for the Reavers to grab that ball back, especially since Cannonball Benny is within reach of the ball. Bob, I'm not so sure about that. He might be a good thrower when it comes to throwing it downfield, but it looks like Cannonball Benny is about to attempt a risky pass to Varag Gaulchua, and Griff Oberwald is in a great position to make an interception attempt. Can't he see him?
What? What do you want? Okay, please hold. Cat-related activities. Oh, okay. We're doing this thing where you go hide behind the door. Okay. Put my camera back or I'm not disoriented. There we go. Okay. I've done the thing, I think. Hello? I'm fairly sure I did the thing. Has the tutorial broken? For the second time tonight. Perhaps. Well. Goodness for you, I know how to play this game. I think. Alright. Let's see. Here. What else do we have here? Oh, okay. So we got humans, dwarves, little rat friends, little orcs, lizard guys, goblins who are ridiculous, elves, just whatever chaos things, dark elves, undead, halflings who in the original world were kind of broken, honestly. Random Vikings. The girl. Even more elves. Mummies. Various zombies and such. Yeah! Well, even vampires. Interesting. Okay, let's see. You know what? Sure. Sure. Let's do, I don't even know what your deal is. So sure. I'll be here all night. Do. Board looking like it's supposed to. Yes. Don't care. Yeah, the concept of orcs with cheerleaders, I was going to say. I read something once, and it was just like one of those Twitter posts where somebody sounded like they were serious, knew what they were talking about some article in some old issue of some magazine, like listing off various weird kinds of orcs of, you know, like you got the Rocket Boys, and you got the I don't know, Speedy Boys and the Girl War Boys, blah blah blah, and then there's the Fem Boys, and it's like you know, it's one of those things where like I don't know if you're kidding, because that's just the level of stupid joke I could see them having had back in the day.
Thanks to all our faithful viewers here on Cabal Television, who once again join us for this live Blood Bowl transmission. I'm Jim Johnson, and I'm assisted by that great ex-player, Bob Bifford.
Hi there, ladies and gentlemen, especially you ladies.
With such a difference between the two teams, this match could turn into a massacre.
Exactly. Why do you think people pay good money? And look who's stepping onto the pitch.
Wow,
Do it for the camera.
a veritable Blood Bowl legend.
And what am I then?
A venerable Blood Bowl legend. The players are ready.
The attack can get their game going again.
Okay. I'm gonna play this game the way only way I know how. Extremely violently.
A recent medical report stated that cerebral hemorrhages were less frequent in Blood Bowl players. Amazing when you come to think of it.
Not really, when you consider that brains are also less frequent. I don't know if we really like that uppercut.
He may not have liked it, but he certainly ate it. Incoming!
Well, it is
Oh.
a violent sport.
Oh wait, that was not a good skull. Whoops. I was not used to making ending your turn. There are very few of those in the Eternals. Okay, so this over here, this is a problem. Before I deal with that problem, I am going terribly.
Now, there's one that wouldn't be coming back in a hurry.
See, there was less swinginess near Eternals, that sort of
The
thing
referees
too.
guild has decided to
You had
hire
like
a
3-on-1,
bodyguard for each game.
and one of them was some like big
Brilliant
giant
idea.
thing. Like
And just how effective will one bodyguard be?
you're
against a
basically rolling
stadium full of
2d6 trying to get a
supporters?
7 on a
True.
table where you have like a
Could be a bit
+5 bonus. It's
one-sided.
very, very safe to do. I guess I'll pause to recover this. Meow, 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 meow. Yeah, seriously. Oh, that's theirs too, okay. Alright, because this likes to give everybody one big guy. Okay. Yeah, less than ideal. Let's get up off the ground first of all.
I I've heard of teams that have simply disappeared after being abandoned by their supporters.
Let's say that some teams who haven't won a match for several years have been tied up by their fans and thrown into rubbish containers.
It's the only way to end a downward spiral.
Okay. See. I'd like to move in into, I think. Big ol' meaty wall around people.
Oh, the Amazons!
Yes, Jim. Scantily dressed women that hit first and ask questions later.
Yes, Bob, I just wish there were more women like that.
Don't we all, Jim? Don't we all? That reminds me of when I took Griff to bits in the '91 final against Reichland.
Oh, yeah. You kneecapped him.
Yeah, why not?
You think he'll be able to get up after that blow, Jim?
Oh, yes. He's not the sort to stay down.
You may get lucky eventually here, right?
You can't say much about that.
Full-blooded, but perfectly legal.
So what is this camera? What is this camera? This is the worst possible camera to use for anything. Just like top down and spinning in circles, so zoomed in that you can't see anything else or anything else. Okay.
Doping is really endemic in this sport.
Isn't it written into the game rules?
Why not? You're ready for a whole lot of nothing. I need to. Generally get people into useful positions. So like moving and attacking is not a thing that's very okay at it. Well, I mean it's rarely a thing that's very cool.
And don't forget, children, don't try and do this at home. Remember, these are seasoned professionals.
Well, one of them is anyway. Every now and again, Blood Bowl throws up a real mixed bag of a team.
Like the Motley Horde, that's made up of a bunch of misfits.
Yeah, can't be easy to coach those cast-offs every day of the week.
I feel really lucky for some reason. Wow.
You can't say much about that.
Full-blooded, but perfectly legal.
That's a bad one.
And that's how you make a successful pass. I don't even think that his opponent made a move.
Touchdown coming up. Let's go, guys. Touchdown. Well, let's hope it's the first of many.
I wonder if the giant finger that works.
Here's a player who's marked Blood Bowl history.
Maybe, but I can remember marking his face with my studs. That's it. The ball's in play. There's gonna be trouble.
Okay. So first of all, let's just hurt people. A bit.
Is it true that most of the Amazon team's devoted fans consist of young men, Bob?
Not at all, Jim. I've heard a large portion of their fan base consists of disgruntled homemakers and countless scores of former Bloodweiser babes.
Aha! That would explain why the Amazon fans have their own fans themselves.
Got a path here. Make sure if we want to get much else done, we can at least move up some. Good there. I don't believe myself to have a throwing game of any kind, you see, so.
He's got a hand to the ball.
Yeah, now he's looking around for support.
That's good. That's all I got.
Ew, slime balls, diseases, rotting flesh. To some, it's a beautiful sight, Bob.
Don't forget the smell, Jim.
Oh, really? Thanks for reminding me. I didn't notice that pungent, acrid stench of death and bile. God, bleh!
That's fine. May not play out the full game here, because it goes to. Well, that's good.
ball and then pow! Right in the face. Down and eat the dust. It's good for you.
Just look at the way his feet and hands are twitching.
The punch
Didn't realize that
is
was
still
very
echoing
similar.
around his body.
That's terrible. There's a lot about the UI this I don't like, as far as, like, you know, seeing where spaces are.
Someone that wasn't really that bright. Down and eat the dust. It's good
Yep.
for you. Ew, here we go. Nurgle style again, Bob.
Who can argue with some high-quality infectious foul play, Jim?
Indeed, Bob. Sure is funny to see the opposition trying to stay healthy when they play against a Nurgle team.
That's true, Jim. I think we're lucky commentating and watching the game from afar, Jim.
I want to be, but... Oh. I lost control of the ball at some point. Not great. Also going down.
What? Right on the schmozzle.
He'll have a bit of trouble blowing his nose from now on.
Did you know one of the most unsportsmanlike Nurgle teams out there is the Decayed Renegade?
Oh, yeah, Jim. And they have a large appetite for foul play.
Let's hope for some of that action today, Bob.
Indeed, Jim.
I feel mildly lucky.
Oh, that player
For some
goes
reason.
directly to the dugout.
Well, at least it's not the morgue.
Good turn in there, though. Okay, so ball's right there. Would like to successfully deal with the violence of my large friend. We don't get what we like, but I'd like to. Yeah, sure. Get up. Just pass the ball around.
Yep, upside down. That's one way to look at things. Did you know the Nurgle Rotters went missing in the Sea of Ice in '88?
That's right, Bob. They drifted for years, all the players frozen stiff in huge blocks of ice.
Until some local fishermen boarded the vessel and brought it southwards. Once defrosted, they were quickly back in business.
That's right, Bob. By the time the boat arrived back to shore, the crew had become devoted fans, and the ship's cat transformed into a beast of Nurgle. It looks like nothing can stop the Nurgle's rotters.
Okay, let's see. Are either of you at all agile? No. Not quite.
Player that bad should not be
Picking up
allowed
the
on
ball
the
is
pitch.
hard.
Nothing like a half-time break. to make a few running repairs.
Ah, yes, Jim, but there are some who'll need a couple of hours' work.
Or there's an actual like straight turn limit too, isn't there?
Those fans have used the halftime pause to tank up on troll juice to rebuild their arsenal of rocks.
Ah, good. So, now the match can restart. The players are ready.
Okay. Once again, I'd like to consolidate up and do at least a little violence here.
Nurgle. Why are Nurgle teams always so popular, Bob?
Because all their fans are infected, Jim.
There we go.
That player's seeing stars now.
Funny for someone that wasn't really that bright.
Aggressively positioned up here. Too bad. Can you pick up the ball?
The ball is in his hands.
Okay, let's do that next time. Yeah, maybe.
It's a great pass.
Still closer to end. It's fine.
We don't see much of the Heroes of Law these days.
I don't know.
For any spectators who aren't aware, the Heroes of Law hope to show the world a better way by honest, strategic play on the pitch.
It's probably a good thing we
A
don't
lot
see
of
it.
short turns in this version of things. I remain disappointed with this big temple monster here.
If I can get their game going again.
And again, attempt to first of all get you up. And cause harm and intimidate people.
Did you know the Nurgle Rotters went missing in the Sea of Ice in '88?
That's right, Bob. They drifted for years, all the players frozen stiff in huge blocks of ice.
Until some local fishermen boarded the vessel and brought it southward. Once defrosted, they were quickly back in business.
That's right, Bob. By the time the boat arrived back to shore, the crew had become devoted fans, and the ship's cat transformed into a beast of Nurgle. It looks like nothing can stop the Nurgle's rotters.
Okay. It's really hard to notice the tackle zones, I swear. least we had like natural proper grid on the game at all times. Okay. So there's you. Come on. Maybe stupid and just try to like again.
Nice left punch, right on the nose.
Sure was, Jim. It's broken now.
You have this actual ball here. Down there. That one.
Did you hear about the Evil Gits? The team that is made up of the mix of evil players?
Their fans won the Most Evil Supporters of the Year award. Fully merited from what I've seen.
Let's see. Just extra safe. You go over here.
This player was really strong. Do you think they have some troll blood in them?
Could be. Or maybe his opponent shouldn't speak that way about the family.
What finesse, what style, what perfection.
What a hammer blow!
Nurgle. Why are Nurgle teams always so popular?
It's how you explain this, just, you know,
All their fans are infected, Jim.
give it into a pulp and then just walk to the end. Nobody's down. I really like this whole situation here. I can get you down. I can't. Like miss this turn. Okay, no. At least like get around this way, hopefully.
Wizards have not always been able to cast spells safely from behind the sidelines. Were you playing at the time in an Albion League, a second division that prohibited spellcasting from off the pitch?
Oh, yes. They were great times. I remember fans traveling to games just to see how well Wizards stood up to the mad charge of a raving Blood Bowl star. The noise created by a sizzling fireball, followed by the characteristic sound of the snapping of a wizard's neck. Go! Go!
I hope you're not going to end up in trouble.
what's up? Or I just pursue the person. Yeah, they didn't care. But, you know, tried. So, like, this is a very good recreation of this version of the tabletop game. It's not a version of the tabletop game, but you know, it's okay. You know, it's standard
We
version.
now have a legendary player coming onto the pitch, a player about whom the crowds have countless chants.
Such
Over
as,
there
ooh,
somewhere.
star player. I say, ooh, star player.
Okay, that's enough.
Hold still and then pow, right in the face.
The bench seems to be in two minds about what to do about the player lying prone on the pitch.
Yeah,
Thank
they
you
don't
for
know whether to send
doing
on a
terrible like
stretcher
that.
or a coffin.
Feel of violence.
Ouch! That punch knocked his teeth down his throat.
Yes, Jim, that's never a nice sight.
As soon as he throws his first punch.
We know the opponent will be out for lunch.
Team Rocket's busting up again.
Here we go, Nurgle style again, Bob.
Who can argue with some high-quality infectious foul play, Jim?
Indeed, Bob. Sure is funny to see the opposition trying to stay healthy when they play against a Nurgle team.
That's true, Jim. I think we're lucky commentating and watching the game from afar,
Start
Jim.
turning path. Making Harvey move. Did not see that coming.
Look over there. Some cute little elf beauties are selling Big Moot sandwiches in the stands.
Hey, I'm off to get one. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
And so now you like Big Moot sandwiches?
Ah, no way! A little elf beauty, yeah.
Not you. Or you could go more at least. I guess be a tie.
She should have checked that her hands were working before trying to pick up that ball.
So I think real lucky. Just like walk over there, grab it, and leave. Yeah. Which, could happen. Clear path.
That face job is a lot cheaper than a plastic surgeon.
I don't know if he planned it, but it won't do him any harm in the looks department.
Well, at least they killed someone. That's the really important thing. Does anybody have agility over here? Do we have agility on my team?
Did you know one of the most unsportsmanlike Nurgle teams out there is the Decayed Renegade?
Oh, yeah, Jim. And they have a large appetite for foul play.
Let's hope for some of that action today, Bob.
Indeed, Jim.
Oh, dear.
For the good of the team, you can only hope that he's quickly taken off the pitch. What violence!
Yes, it's a great spectacle, Bob. Good recovery. Wow, I can tell you straight, that hurts. Just look at the fans. They're red hot. A majority of supporters reckon that the league should take measures to prevent the small minority of peaceful fans from watching a match from the terraces.
They've got a point. If they don't want to join in the fun, they might as well stay home and watch it on Cablevision. Ouch! Right in the face. The other guy couldn't dodge that one.
Ball's there now. Anyone actually grab that? Not really. So I'm not going to win, but I'm going to be really close to winning. Isn't that what's important? Oh, some more people might be seriously hurt. Isn't that also what's important?
Did you hear about the Venus man-eaters, Bob?
Oh, yes, Jim. I think everyone knows about man-eaters.
Oh, I'm scared, Bob.
So is everyone with proverbial coconuts.
What? Because I can. And now for that glorious tie.
That right hook was worthy of a black orc.
If you're telling me, it'll take a while to get over it. The ball is in her hands.
It seems this player does all the talking with the fist.
And they clearly know how to get heard.
It's good of. This is like my final turn.
There was a time when the colleges of magic hadn't yet ruled on limiting wizard assistants to teams.
Who could forget the infamous 2472 Quagmire incident, when rampant spellcasting caused the entire Bright Crusaders stadium to sink into the earth?
Nobody could forget that. People were blinded for miles around the stadium.
Where's the ball? Okay.
Corruption is so widespread that the Referees Guild has set out rules concerning where, when, and how one can accept a bribe.
Under an agreement signed last season, clubs are not allowed to offer less than the going rate. A nasty stab. That may leave a permanent mark.
Well, it's like a new tattoo.
I mean, it's just like, just blow on it and it'll get there. It's basically win, right?
You're both rubbish. Utter rubbish. Pathetic. A far from satisfying result.
If I
Okay,
was on
but-
that pitch today, I can promise you that we wouldn't have seen a draw.
Well, there's no doubt that pre-match instructions were to give the priority to punching over
I
passing.
hurt them more
We
than
could
they
have
hurt
cut
me.
the pitch
That's
in
the important
half
thing.
today.
Yes, the opposition hardly ever got over the halfway line. What? Not one player doped? Let me express just a teensy-weensy bit of surprise.
So that's Blood Bowl. It's interesting.